Sonia, thank you for talking to us today about what the asset management community needs from the custody. Do you find the banks you deal with well integrated or siloed?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. Unfortunately, my experience is that they're quite siloed, and really we see that in terms of they're very focused on specific product offerings, which I think in some part reflects the functional divisions within the organisation. And you do tend to see the result, like sometimes the solutions can be a little fragmented. The other area where it can present a challenge is in terms of reporting back, where the data actually resides cross-functionally within the custodial organisation.
What is your greatest source of operational frustration in dealing with custodians?
I think definitely the silo thing that we have spoken about. The second thing I would say is it would be great if the custodians could find a way to facilitate some kind of client forum whereby we could share experiences and frankly lessons learned in terms of how people have solved different problems or how they're resolving different issues. I think that the custodians collectively have a lot of information that they can share, and historically I don't really think those client experience sharing forums are really available.
Has regulation improved or worsened your relationships with custodians?
I don't really see it as changing the nature of the relationship. I think the interesting thing about the regulation, and we've all been busy on the asset management side as well as the custodians have been very busy. Really, the impact that we see is that the discretionary spend has been significantly reduced. So basically, the capacity, dollar investment, resource time is all being channeled into regulatory requirements, and unfortunately that leaves it very difficult to get client-driven projects done with your custodian, and that in turn limits your ability to execute on your own business plan.
Which custodial services do you think can be better provided by utilities?
I think that's a really interesting question. I think that there are, the landscape is definitely changing in terms of the custody arena. I think that the global custodians are going to need to innovate to remain relevant. I mean, there's a lot of talk about corporate actions or income collection being able to be completed by utilities. I'm not sure really that the end user appetite is there to kind of add utilities to the stable of service providers at this point.
Do you want segregated accounts or are you happy with omnibus accounts?
Definitely segregated is coming more and more into its own, specifically due to some of the regulatory forces at play. I do think there is definitely a trade-off there in terms of efficiency versus asset safety, and I think that omnibus and segregated are kind of extremes of that spectrum, and I think that over a period of time it might equalise back to something in the middle.
Sonia, thank you very much.
Pleasure.